Hello, everyone. This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D. And yes, I am still wearing my Eagles gear. I laugh when I say that because people are like, every time I see you, you have that same outfit on. I said, well, here's my thing. Like, I'm wearing this till we wear the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. So when we win the Super Bowl, I'll go back to my normal gear. But until that happens, I'm going to wear it because I am a diehard Philadelphia Eagles football fan. Everybody got a problem about that out there? You can type in the chat feature, and we can have a conversation about it. But as you can see, my Eagles are 12-1, and we are on a roll. So I'm actually not going to be on long because I have someone here with me. We're doing this post-pandemic leadership coaching, where I have people actually flying into Florida to spend a day or two with us to do some coaching on, a variety of different leadership specific areas of focus, but primarily creating a leadership plan for the year, personal. All right. We have some individuals that are doing group type things, but this is more on the personal level. So I have someone here doing a 2 day coaching with me, and they are now on a conference call. And so I'm going to get back up there in a moment and work with them. And so um, I'm just wanted to talk to you a little bit about this post-pandemic leadership thing that we're talking about, and I like to include Pierre Campbell in on it because I know he's been involved. I took him to a conference with me recently. He had a chance to speak to some people, but regarding this topic, plus he does a lot with leadership development. But the need, the need as a leader for you to rethink the way you are leading post-pandemic. Now, um, I mentioned this topic once before, but the reality is, and by the way, I am in beautiful Florida. And just as you're wondering, that's a really nice backdrop, coach. Well, it's Florida. That's the way it should be. But the way we led pre-pandemic, we can't lead post. Okay. Uh, Post-pandemic, I'm going to place this in the chat feature. Pandemic, we need to lead with values. One thing we hear a lot is people have a very difficult time recruiting and retaining people. People are hopping all over the place. They'll be at a job for a few minutes and they're off to the next one. What people are not tolerating anymore, they're not tolerating the way that people used to lead post pandemic. They're just not tolerating that. They've made a decision, all right, a decision that if I'm going to work for someone, all right, if I'm going to work with someone, it's important for me to have a leader or a specific type manager who understands me as a person. All right. Understand me as a person. And so if we're going to, in many cases, take the time to evaluate our leadership model and the way we do things, it's important to understand that we need to put in that equation, all right, to put that in the equation that we need to lead with values. If we don't lead with values, what's going to happen is we're going to have a hard time recruiting and retaining people. That's just the way it is. We're going to have a very difficult time. And so, what we start doing is we're flying people into Orlando, and we're spending a day into with individual leaders, all right, individual leaders to help coach them on post pandemic leadership principles, which is of critical importance moving forward. Post pandemic leadership principles. You can see I'm in a space where multiple people are here, so it happens to be that's the way it is. But the point being that if you are a leader and you realize the need, the importance, okay, of leading differently, you need to start thinking about how I am leading my people with values in mind. Now, I'm not, we've been coaching and training people for a long period of time. And what I realize is this. I realize that most people, they have a leadership style in which they get used to that leadership style and they think that that style can last forever. In other words, if I'm a kind of a leader that leads with intensity, I can do that forever. Or if I'm the kind of leader to get the job done or else, I can lead like that forever. Now, let me tell you something. That may have worked pre-pandemic. But if you want to recruit and retain talent, it's not going to work. People have gone through 2 years of a pandemic that have shifted the way that they're thinking. They shifted the idea of personal values, family values, and everything else. And so they're not going to come out of 2 years of going through all these different things and then all of a sudden go work for somebody that's going to, make life difficult for them when the last couple of years have been difficult enough. So what am I saying? That doesn't mean as a leader that you don't lead. But what I am saying is that as a leader, you have to lead with your people in mind. And so, like the coaching we're doing with this wonderful person here, heading up a program to help young men, and doing a phenomenal job. But he's here because he wants to understand and put together systems to keep himself accountable to specific goals to enhance his leadership within his organization. So we're looking at everything from the way you delegate, the way that you communicate, the way you define expectations, the way you take time with people to engage with them, not just do a job and I'll see you once a year at a performance review. No, I'm engaging with you on a consistent basis. I'm having conversations about the well-being. You all know we do a ton of work around self-care nowadays, but the well-being of my staff, my leadership team, let's say if I'm leading, it's the leadership team, and I'm teaching my leadership team how to do with their people. So what we're building is a culture that's based upon the people that are working within our organization. So the folks that we're looking to bring down here in sunny Orlando for, again, a day or two or a weekend, bring your kids too, and they can go to Disney while you're being coached, is to uh, uh, reset the thinking. Think about what I'm saying. Reset the thinking of leadership moving forward. Now, there's a lot of people that understand the power of leadership coaching, and we do quite a bit of coaching, in a variety of different areas, and we do leadership coaching, but this is a relatively new model we're talking about. And I basically created the idea, the whole terminology around post-pandemic leadership. So nobody else is out there is really talking about it from this perspective. But what I want you to understand is this: if you're a leader and you're still trying to lead the way you used to lead, that type of leadership will soon be obsolete. And you'll say, why am I having a hard time retaining people? Why am I having a hard time building the culture that I want within this organization? Why is all this difficult? Well, you're not really focusing in on, okay, what are the needs in this time period versus previous time period? So I'm going to put a link here in the chat feature. If you're interested in scheduling the time to talk about this, see if we can get you down here to Florida for a day or two, go through a strategy session of building out your leadership model for next year, accountability systems. The people that we're going to be flying in to do this, we're going to be not only we're going to be doing a lot of planning for the next year, and then also some ongoing coaching throughout the year. And it's important to understand that accountability is a critical component to all of this. It's a critical component. So if you're a leader and you want to really redefine your leadership, we're still trying to work out some of the details. We may even bring in leadership teams. So you can collectively, as a leadership team, sit down and evaluate your leadership styles and their impact on your employees, your lead, and other leaders. Let's say if you're a leader and you have leaders, other leaders moving forward. And so I'm proud of folks who have said, you know what, I want to do this. It's a new idea, it's a new concept. We're actually still kind of building out a lot of it. We've had success with it, but we want to make it as effective as possible. But as a leader, you can no longer ignore it. With so much of a problem out here with recruitment and retaining, building positive cultures and things like that, it all starts with leadership. And so what we've done, and many of you know, I've been involved with working with people now for 20 plus years, is build a model I think could be helpful. So reach out to us if you have any questions. You all know the website, but I'll put it in again. It's CoachDSpeaks.com. And, want to make sure that we put that information in here for you. And if there's any questions, you may say, hey, Coach, I just want to have a question and a conversation with you about post-pandemic leadership. Go right ahead and just reach out to us for that as well. I don't mind taking 10, 15, 20 minutes of our time to talk to you about it. It may not be that we don't coach you, but you may say, hey, I just got a few questions that I want to, but I tell you something, you can't beat sunny Florida this time of the year. Some of y'all out there is cold, it's 5 degrees outside with a, minus 25-degree wind chill factor. And I'm sitting down here in 80-degree weather, coaching and training people. That's the goal moving forward. Okay. And so, but more importantly, we can't ignore post-pandemic leadership. You just can't. And it's a term I want you to get used to, because this is going to be hanging around for a few more years, because we're still dealing with COVID. We're still dealing with some of the challenges of it. People come to the office, then they're away from the office again because of outbreaks, hybrid here and there. Most of this is going to be virtual nowadays anyway. We just need to accept the fact this is our new normal. I know people don't like it. I don't like virtual. I don't like Zoom. I love Zoom. The reason why is because I've mastered it. I realized that you don't have to do anything different on Zoom that you would do live. It's the way you communicate. If you're static and stagnant, then yes, it's boring. But if you're engaging, and if anybody's out there that's been through some of our trainings, it ain't static with us. That's it, man. Come on, Sharif. There you go. Zoom, man. Zoom is powerful. It is, but it's the way that you use it. You see what I'm saying? And it's the way that you use it that's powerful. And so, but more importantly, we truly live in a day and age now where it's lead, follow, or get out of the way. I mean, if y'all remember that old statement, it's lead, follow, or get out the way. Leadership has been totally redefined. And leadership is not management, as Pierre Campbell talks about. It's not management, it's leadership, it's vision, it's empowering people, it's building organizations, it's building organizational culture. And some of us have never put time into developing that. We just have been leading, but we don't even analyze that stuff. So what we're saying is, join us here in Florida. We can, we're scheduling meetings going into next year. Most of what we're looking at is in January and February, and some in March, just to try to build out for the next year. We do it all throughout the year, but the earlier in the year, the better. Reach out to us for some more information about this. But, this is going to be a mainstay for us, because I want to coach leaders, man. I want to help folks enhance those leadership skills so that you can run better organizations, better schools, better school districts. You can recruit and then retain people, because your style is the kind of a style that a person wants to be associated with, that they can grow as a person. And then if you can build these winning coaches and organizations, just like my Philadelphia Eagles, that I keep wearing the same jersey over and over again until we win the Super Bowl, like they've built in their locker room, with all those leaders stepping up to the plate to help their team win. So that's all I got for you today. I got to go back and work with the individual I'm working with, and it's fantastic. Post-pandemic leadership, it's powerful, it's needed, it's necessary. And if you're a leader out there, hit us up to have a conversation about it. Take care. Bye-bye. And again, coming to sunny Orlando. I'm not coming to you. You're going to come down here so you can get some sunshine and some palm trees, and maybe get a little time at Disney World. We'll see. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.